this would not happen if we had a union.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whoa. Not necessary, because you already sort of have a union of guys.
Roy, do you still have that card from the dock workers union?
In my
Dock
truck?
workers?
Man, hook it up. Come on, man. Let's unionize it.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Classic Comics. So, a while back, several Image Comics employees decided to form a union, the Comic Book Workers United Union. And they did this in order to accomplish several goals, including better pay and benefits, which anyone can understand. I mean, who doesn't want better pay and benefits, right? But they also wanted other things, including the power to decide what comics Image can actually publish. In other words, they wanted the power to cancel any comics or creators that they didn't like. Now, when I first heard about this, I was amused. I thought, surely Image won't let this happen. I mean, how can they? The comic industry is such a low-margin business. Most comic companies are dying. They're laying off employees left and right. Now, Marvel and DC, maybe they could survive a union, I guess, but Image, which is the biggest publisher outside of the big two, isn't going to be able to survive its employees unionizing. Once the union is in place, their demands will become never-ending, and it took all of about 3 months for them to take legal action against the company. And I mean, these aren't even comic creators or even editors. These are, well, here are the union members. I mean, this whole union has like 10 people in it. This is the union. So you've got a traffic manager. I mean, most of these are sales. They're like sales and just kind of vague office positions. I mean, there's an accountant there. There's a couple of people who are involved in art, but they produce like commercial or like promotional or marketing arts. They're not making the comics. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this, shall we? So, Comic Union files against Image Comics over groundless discipline. The members of the Comic Book Workers United have filed unfair labor practices charges against their employer, Image Comics. Now, members of the Comic Book Workers United Union, the first comic book employee union in the USA, have filed unfair labor practice charges against their employer, Image Comics, with the National Labor Relations Board in response to what they describe as capricious disciplinary actions and targeted changes to job descriptions, alleging anti-union discrimination. This seems to mean that the CBWU is accusing Image Comics of treating its members unfairly, and such measures have increased without notification of union representation. The CBWU states the following: workers at Image Comics organized with the Communications Workers of America in November 2021 and ratified their contract, a first in the industry, in early March 2023. Workers had hoped management at Image Comics would meet them at the high road in working to build an inclusive company culture that respects the rights of workers. However, since the contract was ratified, the work environment at Image has become increasingly hostile and has included increasingly frequent and arbitrary disciplinary actions while failing to give appropriate notification to union representatives, and a series of unilateral changes and discriminatory reductions in job descriptions of union supporters. CBWU members have done their utmost to show through their actions that the intention behind organizing was to support each other and to continue bringing the highest level of professional care to the work of our creators. The deleterious results of these violations of federal labor law have left CBWU with no choice but to again file the ULP charges. Image Comics representatives did not reply to inquiries made by Bleeding Cool last night. The charges being claimed against Image Comics are below. So we have violation of 8(1)(a) of the National Labor Relations Act. Image created a work rule barring solicitation of other employees or dissemination of literature during work hours. CBWU believes this has been a discriminatory effort to discourage and restrict the ability of union members to engage in protected organizing activity, which I don't know, but it sounds to me like they're basically saying they're not allowing us to have union meetings on company time. Violation of Section 8A5 of the National Labor Relations Act, refusal to bargain and bad faith bargaining. Image unilaterally implemented a new work procedure and initially rolled it out in a non-uniform fashion. The procedure was rolled out at different times among different employees, with different instructions being given to different workers within the bargaining unit. The company refused requests to communicate with the bargaining committee over this change prior to implementation. Image Comics managers also misled certain employees to believe that this new policy was mandatory for all union workers, but this was false. The disorganization of the staggered rollout, despite being a clear failure on the part of management, was used as a pretense for management to issue more discipline. Disciplinary actions have increased exponentially with insufficient justification, lacking a full and fair investigation without notification of the union, and without the opportunity of having a union representative present. Union representatives have yet to receive a single formal notice of any disciplinary action. And finally, violation of Section 83A of the National Labor Relations Act, changes in terms and conditions of employment. Image unilaterally implemented a change which only materially affected one employee, an elected member of CBWU's bargaining committee. So, like, I don't know whether any of these complaints and the legal action is justified. They may be. I wouldn't be surprised if Image is indeed punishing them, in effect, and making life difficult for them. I mean, it sounds like they don't want this union around, and that's not surprising. And when they allow this union, I think they pretty much doomed themselves. An independent comic publisher can't afford to have a unionized labor. They don't make enough money to provide for something like that. But what that will do to the company, I mean, who knows? Again, most comic companies are on life support already. I just don't see how Image can afford this. But I'm sure the people running this union, they don't care. And they'll be perfectly content to run the company into bankruptcy while making ever increasing demands. I mean, anyway, that's what I think. Anyway, let me know what you think of the CBWU taking legal action. Will this lead to Image going bankrupt? Will they find some way to rid themselves of this union? Will this prompt Image and other publishers to move more towards, say, using AI for some of these positions? Please like this video and sub to the channel before you go, and check out some of my other videos, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.